Welcome back guys, James here at Seekerhost, and today we're going to be going through how you can add a pop-up to your website for free. So guys, we're going to be using the pop-up called Poptin for this particular venture here, and it's going to allow you a free usage up to a certain amount of contacts. Obviously if you do go up higher you will have to go to a premium. However, it's an absolutely brilliant way to get started and get some people either transferring into sales, getting them to subscribe to you. You can get pop-ups coming up on exit intent if they're about to exit the page after time delays, and many other features that you get for the free version. So now let's go ahead and actually get this downloaded and get this set up. So first of all, you're going to need a WordPress site. If you haven't got yourself one, head on over to seekerhost.com or .app, and you're going to be able to find yourself a really cheap domain, WordPress hosting as well to suit, using our reliable and secure hosting. Once you've got yourself set up and you're logged into the back end, first of all what we're going to need is we're going to need to download the plugin itself. So for this we're going to go to the plugin section, and of course you can just go to WordPress plugins and download it from there and upload it manually as well. I'll show you how to do that now. So if you have uploaded it manually, you've gone to WordPress and you've searched for Poptin, you go to add new with your plugins. However, rather than searching in the normal search bar, we're going to be searching on the top here, which is upload plugin. Once you click that, it's going to ask you for the file. Simply select the file and you can upload it that way. However, we are going to be searching for it on WordPress plugins itself because it's easy and free and it's here as well. As you can see here, we've got Poptin. It's looking good, got lots of good reviews, 10,000 plus uploads, and it's compatible with the newest version of WordPress. So let's just go ahead and install that. Now this really is quick and easy. A lot of it isn't actually on your WordPress site. It takes you to another dashboard. That is also quick, easy to activate. So let's activate the plugin, and all you're going to need to do really, and all you need is an email. It just needs an email to set up your dashboard. Once you've set up your dashboard, you're all good to go. So let's just go ahead with our email here. And again, if you want a domain specific email, head on over to seekerhost.app. We got lots of Mailbox hosting now, from 1 Mailbox to 20 Mailbox. Another feature that you get is you get a free email for every WordPress site. So obviously I got this one for free. This is associated with my domain. If you want more and you're a growing business, you want 3, 5, maybe up to 20 different mailboxes to suit all your certain sections of your business. Let's say for instance you might have sales, you might have support. What you can do, check out our video. You can just follow along there, get more hosting, and it will all be associated with your domain. So it's all domain specific. So mine's at tasteofbulgaria.org, and you can change all the prefixes, change aliases, and it's super cheap as well. So check that out. However, for now that's all we needed. We need an email address, so let's just go ahead and sign up. Now just put in a few bits of your personal information here. What are you? What website is it? What's your current traffic as well? Just to let you know, I believe the free version is up for 1,000 visitors. So let's just get started. We'll be able to check now. There we go. So 1,000 visitors a month, one domain, unlimited pop-ins, chat and email support. That is for free, so you can get started right away. If you get 10,000 visitors or more a month, you can go for the basic. Obviously 50,000 or more, or 150,000, you can go for the pro or the agency. But to get started for free is just as easy as selecting this plan right here. Now, as you can see, we now have our options of what we want to make. So do you want to get more leads, increase sales? Do you want to make announcements, stuff like coupons, vouchers? Do you want to grow your email list, or gaming pop-ups? You can also select, I'm not sure, show me all the templates. However, we're just going to do a grow email list. Now, as you can see, and also you are able to create your own as well if you want a blank one. However, the templates on here are really good. You get a nice little selection of them as well, and you get a lot of them for free. Some are desktop specific. However, what I've noticed is the desktop ones also work really well for mobile as well. So let's just preview this one. Let's see how we like it. We've got some awesome news for you. Welcome to the site, 20%, blah, blah, blah. Got it. Okay, maybe not that one for me. Let's preview this one here. That one's really cool, so you can also include countdown timers. Obviously stuff like that does actually help for sales because people feel a little bit more pressured to get it, which might lead for more sales. So this one looks pretty good for me. Subscribe to our email list. In fact, it's pretty much perfect, so I shouldn't even really have to do any changes here. So that's pretty good. I'm going to go press X on that, and I'm just going to go to customize. Now this is where you can fully customize it. Do you want to have the status on straight away? Do you want it off? I'm going to leave it on. Let's give it a name as well. So I'm just going to call this subscribe, and then make sure to put in the domain that you're using. You don't need the HTTPS or the www. It takes that out anyway automatically. So once we've done that, we're going to go to customize Poptin. One of the things as well is you are able to edit this in mobile features by clicking this little button on. I won't be going through that today because the ones that are on desktop seem to work pretty well with the mobiles as well from what I've experienced. If you do need to, it's just this little button up here. It's off at the moment. You can click it, enable it, and then go to mobile editing. Now I'm not going to be going through the teaser at this point. Play around with that if you want to. However, we're going to be moving on to the actual pop-up itself because that's what we want to do. We want to get the pop-up running on here. So let's just go to the elements here. As you can see, everything is done drag and drop here with the elements, much like Elementor if you have used it. And you can also click stuff for it to go on. So if I click that, it's now appeared on the top left, and we can go ahead and we can change this over. We can write something else in, change the colors and whatnot. So now that we're on our dashboard, we want to start editing this to make sure that it's working well. First of all, start up with your size. Is this size going to be okay for you? You can play around with that as well, and also preview at any point, as the preview is on your right hand side. Next up, on submit button, click. What do we want to do after they submit? Do you want it to close the page? Do you want it to link to another page? Or do you want to send them to a special thank you screen? A special thank you screen would be great for stuff like vouchers or codes. So if you're offering a 20% if they subscribe, once they subscribe, they will then get taken to the page, which then says thank you, this is your code. Obviously you'd have to create that page, get the link, and then link it to it. If I click link to, it's going to give me an option of where I want the link to go. So once they do click on the submit button or subscribe, whichever one you've chosen, where is it going to take them? So create a page if you do want them to go to a certain page, put the link in here, and then you can choose whether to open in a new tab, pass parameter in URL, and if you do need more explanation, they got how it works right there. Or another thing that you can do is also launch another Poptin. So if you do have another one created, you can simply come to the drop down menu here or search for it, and you can go from one pop-up to the next pop-up. Next up, colors for the submit and hovering over submit as well. Do you want this to be a different color? We can change this. We can go to red. I'm going to keep this on white, so obviously then you won't be able to see it between the writing. Your hover color, what color do you want your hover color to be? So when I hover over it, what color do I want it to be? So I'm just going to leave this as blue. As you can see, it starts off as white. When I hover over it, it goes to blue. What sort of button effect should we go for now? So we've got a button effect here. We've got none. Obviously we can have bounce, we can have flash, pulse. Let's just go for a pulse and see. And it done a little pulse motion there. Let's go for shake. As you can see, shake there. Let's keep it on shake at the moment, but obviously spend some time and really try and tailor this for you. Next up, we have the background option. What color do you want it to be? I'm going to stick with my theme, and I do suggest you to stick with your theme. One of the best sort of bits of advice I've had for designing is keep to your theme and keep to 3 colors. That way people will always know what your theme is. Even if, you know, they've seen you a few times, they see you elsewhere, they see your logo, try and keep it to your 3 main colors. One of my main colors is blue. Let's just go for a slightly lighter blue there. I quite like that blue. We might have to change the colour of these words. Obviously, to change the colour of anything, just highlight over the words, and it will come up with this neat little thing here. You can click on colours, and I'm just going to go for, let's try out white there. How does that look like? Still quite hard to see. So I think we're going to change this to like a black. Let's see what black looks like. There we go. So you can read the black a lot better. So obviously play around with this, make sure there's no spelling mistakes. Obviously apparently they set the defaults with some spelling mistakes, but as you can see, you can play around with all of this. You can even add stuff from the gallery if you want to upload pictures here on the right hand side, and also it's got the option for the other background color as well. So let's just see. So I'm going to go for the darker blue color, which is my theme, and then a lighter blue on the inside, and I think that's going to look pretty good. Let me just change the subscribe button as well. We're going to probably change that to black again. Just make sure that everybody is able to see this. There's nothing worse than something coming up and you're not able to actually read what it says. You can also enable a teaser, which I won't be doing. I tend not to do little teasers, but basically what it'll be in the corner of your page, for instance, like this. There we go. Now with the teaser, what you're going to get is you're going to get a little bit on the corner of your screen, depending on where you want it, and then you click it. Once you click it, it will then open up the Poptin option, so you sort of have it there just in case, and people can click it at any point. I'm not going to be using a teaser. I don't actually like to use a teaser too much. That's only personal preference though, so that's completely up to you. Obviously you can then go ahead and choose the colors again, choose the screen location, what sort of offset you have, the entry effect, exit effect, and it's all very customizable. Next up, do you want to add an element? Have you started with a blank one? Maybe you haven't used a template, maybe you just want to add some stuff to the template. So now that I clicked the coupon, we're going to get our little coupon thing here. We can then move it around the page freely, which is really nice. And of course you can then add your coupon code in there. Now I'm just going to delete that because I don't actually have a coupon code. Obviously if you didn't see that, to delete it, click on it, wait till this loads up, go on the little delete button there, and it will then ask you if you want to delete it, and it will then delete it. Now you can add lots of stuff on here, from custom HTML, videos, images, buttons, shapes. I'm primarily just going to leave this as is. However, again, spend a bit of time, you know, from icons to timers. Timers are quite good as well, especially if you're selling something. You might have a deal on for the next 12 hours, so put the countdown timer on. That'll make people feel a lot more pressure to actually go ahead and buy it before that runs out. Input fields up next. This is going to be stuff for subscription, so I'm going to leave mine as it is for email because I only really want their email, but you can also add other stuff as well. So the ones that you can choose for the free version, you can choose name, phone, consent box, message, a text field. You do have other ones as well, like radio buttons, checkboxes, hidden fields and stuff like that with a premium. Let's just click name as well just to see that. As you can see, we now have 2 boxes. However, one's much bigger than the other one. You can change that by going to percentages. As you can see here, we now have 2 different ones like that. You can change their alignment by clicking this little button here, whether you want one further down, whether you want it next to each other. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to move these boxes around a little bit better so they actually fit nicely. So let's just move that under there. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a 50-50 split on this just so we can fit it nicely in the screen. So again, there we go. And I'm just going to change this to enter your name and email. So we've got enter your name and email to subscribe. Just make sure that you can see the fields in there. Obviously, as you saw with mine, they sort of disappeared. They didn't actually disappear, it was just you couldn't see them with the colours. Just make sure they can see what field is what. So obviously email, name, and we've got enter your name and email here. In fact, I'm going to change that around just so it makes sense because actually it's email and name. So that's starting to look quite good already. Next up, email integrations. Let's start adding who the recipient is going to be for this. So obviously send an email upon somebody subscribing. Who do you want to send it to? Let's just go ahead and I'm going to add another one as well. I'm going to add my other email address. So there we go. And obviously you can add as many email addresses as you want there. You can also add integrations, which we won't be going through at the moment because obviously we don't have any active integrations. Autoresponder unfortunately is not with the free version. That's going to be with the premium version. And then you also get some advanced settings here. Stuff like the entry effects, so if you want to change how the pop-in comes in, let's go for a fade in. So there we go, that fades in. And how do you want the pop-up to go? So when people click off, should we go for a bounce out? So we're going to go for a bounce out. Right, now background effect, this is pretty cool. So it doesn't just have to just be a pop-up, it can also have a very nice background effect. So if I click binary there, and let's hit preview, and there we go, so we've got that cool like computery look there. You can check out the background effects, see if any of them suit you. Let's just check out wheel as well, so you got that one as well. Let's check out the snowy effect. I think I've seen that before and I quite like that. So I'm going to stick with the snowy effect as the background. Again, you don't need to have a background. Now you can change your custom fonts, background layer color. Unfortunately, you can't take the branding off without upgrading. Here's something which I just noticed for the first time. Actually, it's quite cool. So if we click this on spin X cover, when you go on the X it spins. I've never seen that before. I quite like it. You know what, I'm just going to leave it on. Now here is the option for the X to actually close the button. What do you want it to do? Do you want it to show the X, without the X, or a skip button? Also, how many seconds to display the X? So let's say if I go for 3 seconds, if we go for a preview, okay, it doesn't show it yet, but what will actually happen is you don't see the X to close it for 3 seconds, so it just gives that extra couple of seconds that somebody won't be able to close it down for. Now, just be careful with this, and also I wouldn't suggest doing it without the X. One of the things with Google algorithms and search engines is that people have like a good time on your site, and more pop-ups that you're not able to close lead to more frustration. They don't really help your site. Search engines will then start to think not to send people there because people are not having a great time on your site. They're getting stuck on pop-ups that they can't come out of, and of course you probably know yourself, it's extremely frustrating when that happens. Another thing that you can do is put a hover message. So if I put "Are you sure?" there, I'm not sure if it will show on the preview. Let's just go on the preview here. However, what will happen when you go over the X, it will come up with another little message saying "Are you sure?" It's just basically another method to try not to get people to close down the pop-up and actually subscribe. So that's looking pretty good so far. I'm pretty happy with this pop-up. Let's go to next, and let's start finishing this off. This is going to be the important bit, the intent, or when it's actually going to come up. So first of all, what we have is exit intent. This is going to be if my mouse cursor goes off the screen, e.g. it's going to be exiting or moving, that's when the pop-up's going to come up. That is quite a good one because obviously you want to catch them people before they leave. Personally, what I like to do is I like to have a few of them. So I'll have a time delay of 4 to 5 seconds. I'm going to go for 4 seconds. And rather than having to a specific page, I'll have it on the website. So no matter what page they land on, after 4 seconds, this will pop up. You can also have this after page scroll, page count. So let's say they've displayed or they've gone through 3 pages and they haven't seen the pop-up yet. You can then go ahead and have the pop-up come up after 3 pages. You can also have it for clicks count. So if they clicked a certain amount of times, or inactivity. Have they been inactive on your website for a certain amount of time? Maybe if they're inactive for 3 or 4 minutes, you should have a pop-up come in saying, you know, "Hi, are you still there? Do you want to subscribe?" So we're going to do a display count of 4 seconds before it shows up on any page of the website, and we're also going to do a page count, so if they've gone through 3 pages they will then see it. One of the things I'll say now, in case you're thinking, but I don't want people to get annoyed, it keeps coming up, you can set how often they see this. As default it's set to one times per day, so each person using the same desktop, so if I was to see it once I would not see it again for another 24 hours. After 24 hours I would then see it, but obviously you can change that. Targeting display on devices, do you want it desktop and mobile? I do want it on both. Let's go to page targeting. If you turn it on, you can go a bit more specific, and you can also add stuff like starts with, contains, equals to. But we won't be needing this. So display frequency is the important one as well. How often do you want this to display to people? Do you want it to be everyone? Do you want it to be once a day? You can choose every session, once every few days. You can choose new customers or return customers as well. So this is how you can really tailor these, and you can actually have a number of pop-ups. So you can have some pop-ups for returning customers, new customers if you want to give them new deals. Or you can simply have it to every customer once a day. So I'm just going to set that to once a day. In fact, let me set that to once every few days in case they come off quite often. You can then set the number of days, so I'm actually going to do it to 2 days. So if they log on one day, they'll see it. They log on the next, they won't. If they log on again the next day, they will see it then. Then we're going to go to advanced display rules. Here, I'm not going to go through all of this because it will make this video extremely long to go through all of this. But obviously, these are other options apart from the ones that they upgrade is it's for you to go and really tailor this. So what dates do you want it on? Do you want it on certain browsers, days and hours, the traffic source? You can change all of this. It's very highly customizable. So go ahead, take a look at that. You can even IP block certain people. But anyway, so that's all done. We're going to go to publish now, and that is it now. No shortcodes are needed, nothing like that. Great job. We've got our pop-up. We can then go ahead to create another one, close this, and you're now going to get your information on here for subscribe, tell you how many visitors, views, conversion percentages as well, and actions that you can do with this pop-in. You can also go to the overview option right here. It's going to give you a few more bits of information nicely displayed here about the visitors, conversion, views. Now time to see how it's actually works. So let's just refresh this home page. We should see it after about 4 seconds. So we're on the home page now. Let's just wait about 4 seconds or so for it to load up. And there we go, it's all popped up. We've got a nice snowy background. So I'll put my email, I'll put my name, I'm going to subscribe. Let's just make sure that this is working, and it's working quickly. Now if I go back to my dashboard, we can see that immediately it's already shown us congratulations that we've got another lead. And here I am, as quickly as that, it's got our lead, it's got it stored there. Not only that, obviously once we do that, we can click this and we can go to, where is the button now? Oh, we can go to download right here, and then you can download it as a PDF, XLS. So once you've got your, large number of emails that you want to start using, you can also download them and check them out. Even put some on a nice little thing like this. So guys, thanks for watching. If you need any more information on this, leave it down in the comments, ask us a question, we'll be able to get back to you and help you out as well. So with that, we'll see you on the next video. Of course, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, it's much appreciated, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.